Lights, camera, action. If we spend our time with savages, we will become savages. Over the years on the TV screens, we see countless examples of antisocial behaviour, but not enough good examples of good behaviour. I think there is a link, at least to some degree, between televised violence and children's aggressive behaviour. We can see that violence on television and in movies does stimulate or influence some children to participate in aggressive or violent behaviour. And adults are influenced by social media as well as television, on which biased news channels coordinate on how adults are meant to think. Those who allow themselves to be exposed to violence on television can somewhat be desensitized to it. This would suggest an emotional blunting by the individual to the violence witnessed, or even a potential turning off of conscience and concern in the presence of violence. Bystander-apathy is where people are willing to stand by and watch while others are injured or killed, and the observers will do nothing to help the victim. This suggests an unfeeling or indifferent response by people in the presence of suffering on the part of others. I read this in H.G. Wells' book The Time Machine, where someone fell into a fast-flowing river and nobody tried to help, as if it was an everyday occurrence that didn't matter, showing a complete lack of empathy, charity, or love thy neighbour. One possible explanation for this apathy is that people, especially in the larger cities, have become desensitized to violence, mainly seen on the television. Through television and movies, one child in one day might see more violence than in real life in their entire lifetime. Violence then becomes almost commonplace in daily living. Seeing a killing is as common as seeing a jogger running. The decrease in sympathetic feelings is worrying. On television and films, TV presenters, actors, even newsreaders can change the behaviour towards attitudes, opinions, values. Violence on the screen can cause aggressive behaviour, not just in children, but in adults too. Television programmes, especially drama serials and documentary style programmes, are powerful teaching tools for good or evil. Commercials can influence people to buy their products. Political parties often engage in flooding all types of social media, spending large amounts of money in the hope of swaying public opinion towards their party. The media are powerful persuaders, whether it is to get you to buy a can of drink or vote for a particular political party. Television documentaries and drama serials have significant power to inform, educate, persuade, and even sometimes change behaviour. The general notion behind modelling or imitative learning is that if you want someone to adopt a new behaviour, to change the way they think, you put someone well known and liked by many on the television screens, showing the way they want you to behave and think, making the new way attractive enough to change. The thought that parents control what their children watch on the television is a myth in most households. People's basic values, as well as behaviour and possibly their consciences, can be manipulated and engineered. The role of television drama serials and films in inciting violence, in teaching values, and in modelling a variety of lifestyles, some of which may be antisocial and contribute to social breakdown, and the breakdown of the family as a social unit is worrying, whether we like to admit it or not. Worldwide movie censorship is non-existent. Almost anything imaginable can be filmed and shown on screen. Violence, extremes in sadism, explicit sex, great varieties in antisocial behaviour, and the use of drugs and vulgar language is just accepted. What kind of values and behaviour are being taught and modelled by the television and media? The television and mobile phone is a more powerful and persuasive teacher of values and ethics any day of the week than school or church, bringing about a blurring and confusion about moral behaviour. One might argue that if your son and daughter are well brought up, emotionally well balanced, that they will not be affected by what they see on the screen. If we think that ourselves and our family are above being persuaded by media and TV screens, and that only affects the emotionally sick and unbalanced people, well, I believe no immunity exists. Harm is harm. Something noxious is still something noxious. You can defend yourself in a snowball fight, but you can't defend yourself in an avalanche. Many of the characters portrayed on our TV screens are lacking integrity, who on the most part are unprincipled, unrestrained, lacking in impulse control and unconcerned with the sensitivities and welfare of others. We don't often see the impact or aftermath of their impulsive, aggressive action. We may have some concern for their future. But until next time, stay strong, stay motivated. Cheerio.
That says welcome.